Hi, my name is Dan. I'm a high school math teacher in California, and I just wanted to make a quick how to create video lectures and lessons using Zoom. So obviously we're in the middle of this COVID-19 crisis, and we're going to be using a lot more online methods of teaching. And so I just wanted to give you a quick little basic rundown of how I use Zoom to create video lessons. So the first thing I'm going to show you is I'm going to share the screen here with you. Okay, so the first thing you would do here is sign into Zoom. So I'm actually going to create a new window. This is Internet, or this is Google Chrome that is up. And we can go right to Zoom here. And what we're going to do here is we're going to actually create a meeting. So I'm already logged in because I'm using it right now. You would log in however you would. And to create the meeting, over here in the left menu, we'll just click on meetings, and you will select schedule a new meeting. So when you schedule a meeting, you can name it however you want. I would suggest naming it whatever your lecture is going to be. When you can actually do it for whenever, because you can start the meeting whenever, but I typically start it or have it close to when my start time for recording it would be. You don't need to do a recruiting meeting, or sorry, recurring meeting, and you wouldn't need a password. This video host I put on here, but you can do either one of those because you can turn off and on the video during the recording or before you record. And I actually have all these selected to show that none of them are checked. And you just push save. Okay, and then when you're ready to start videoing, and it wouldn't start right away, you can actually start the video manually. So you would go to start this meeting. So go to start the meeting here. And once you start the meeting, you're going to get your Zoom app will upload. It'll look something like this. And I'm not going to attempt to start another meeting while I'm in this meeting right now. So once it starts, it'll ask you to use computer audio. And I always put yes, use computer audio. If you have a microphone or speakers or whatever else you use, that's what I use. Okay, now this next part is a little more interesting to show you here. But once I'm gonna stop sharing here. So once your screen pops up and where you can see yourself, if you can't see yourself, there's a bottom bar down at the bottom of your video, which I can see right now. I don't believe you can see. And it says mute, stop audio, or sorry, stop video, invite, manage participants, share screen, chat, pause and stop recording, and reactions. So if you look, and end meeting. So at the bottom of the screen, you would start video, so that way you can see your face. And then the two things that we're really, besides start and stop video, the two things that we're most interested in is stopping and starting the recording, and then share screen. So once you have your face up here, and you can see on this little mute microphone to the bottom left, you can see that your video, that your audio is working. You can start your recording and then go right into your lecture. You know, your welcome and your warm up or whatever. Okay, now probably the most important part here is the share screen at the bottom. So when I click on share screen, I get a few options for sharing screen. The first one that I'm interested in is screen. The second one is a whiteboard. So if I just share my screen, you can see basically what's on my screen here. I can have a Google Doc up, I can have my browser up, I can go to PowerPoint and have that up, and I can go to, say, a document or a PDF if you want to review something with students there. The issue that I have as a math teacher is I do a lot of showing. So I might have a worksheet that I want to show and write on, or just show how to do certain problems. So I'm going to do a new share here and go to a whiteboard, which is actually built in to Zoom. Now, this works well in terms of being able to write on this. Okay, my only issue, and this actually would probably work really well if you were using a touchscreen, similar to you know, an iPad type touchscreen. I use an iPad, but you could also use like a Surface Pro or such. I wouldn't use it here. I'm using my laptop to record here, so I'm using the just a little tracker pad, and which makes it a little bit more difficult for me to bring stuff in here and write on it. Another issue that I have with just a Zoom whiteboard is that, again, if I'm just doing an equation or something, which, oh gosh, I'm horrible at writing on this. That's a 3. That's why I don't use this. But if I want to put like a worksheet on here, it's not, I don't see how I can even bring that in here onto the Zoom. So you can use this, especially if you have a touchscreen. I think it'd be a lot easier if you're just doing a quick little problem that you want to write down. But again, my issue is I want to usually bring something in. So get out of here. Okay, another possible share, which is what I use, is I'll share my screen here. Actually, if I go share screen again, as a math teacher, I have my calculator popped up here. And actually, when you do the share screen, you can see any option for apps that are already opened. So I have my calculator open right now, so I can share my calculator screen right here. So obviously this is helpful if you want to share a document or a PowerPoint. You would just go share that document or PowerPoint. But here I'm sharing my graphing calculator that I have up now. Okay, now for what I use the most, I would say, is to share my iPad. So if I click on share screen again, and I go to my iPhone or iPad, and I go to share, there's going to be a direction dialog here that pops up. And just make sure that I'm not sure if you can see my screen here, but it says to make sure I'm on the network and then choose mirroring. So once I do that, now you can see my iPad. Now again, for me, with math, I like to have a whiteboard that I can write on with I'm using like an iPencil here, but also that I can bring in a picture or a document. So I've used Explain Everything in the past to video without, you know, being able to see my face. Since I've used it, they have features that you can unlock and you can pay their to actually purchase the app. But for the free app, you get a certain amount of time here. Now, it's nice with this app, and I don't want to use this as a time to advertise for Explain Everything. I just have used this a decent amount. You can actually record right on this app. Again, the issue is with the free version, I think you can only record a certain amount of time, and you can't see your face if you want to explain something or go back and forth between documents. What's nice about this, and again, for me, it's being able to write, is if I do want to write, you know, some sort of math equation on here, like so, they can see that. I can erase that. And again, a lot of it is just, you know, learning the whiteboard app. And you can imagine too, even if I wanted to do this live and record it, record a lecture with, maybe we have a few students in there, you could have them join the meeting and then give your little lecture, record it, and then save that so other students can view. But if I went here, I can actually insert a picture, a file. I think it's best for me just to take a picture on the iPad of the of the worksheet. So for example, here, I have a rational exponents worksheet. And now you can see, then this is the nice thing about this whiteboard over a lot of the whiteboards I've seen, is you can write right on the picture. Some of them don't allow you to write onto the picture. They can write to the side of it. For this one, you can actually zoom in here and you can explain students how you get, say, v to the 1/4 power. So again, it's really nice in that respect that you can write directly on this, explain it, and if they have a question on a worksheet, you can bring that right up. So that's kind of the basic here of how to use Zoom and share your screen in order to do lessons. Again, for me, the whiteboard is the best way for me to explain and lecture. But I can definitely see how if you're an English teacher and maybe you have a PowerPoint to share, you can just share that right away, or you can share a document. And again, just sharing your screen, that ability to do that can get you to see whatever is on your screen, whether it be like this calculator or OneNote. Okay, now that you saw how to kind of create the video, I had pushed stop record on my meeting, and once you stop record and end the meeting, then you will actually be able to see, it'll ask you to convert the video. It'll start converting the video. So I'm going to show my screen here. And you can see right now that I have that last video that I made is converting. Now, once it's done converting, then it'll ask you where you want to save the video. And I save it in a Zoom videos folder on my computer. You can save it wherever you can find it. So let's see if I can get it a minute here to do that. Okay, if it's not done, it should be just about done with the conversion. Okay, once the conversion stopped, it's fully converted, hit 100%, and it asks you which folder you want to put it in. So let's share my screen again. Okay, so this is what popped up once it was done converting the video, and then you can save it in whatever you like to save it in. So I keep it in my, called Stellar, it's our charter school, Zoom videos, and now it should be saved under that. Okay, now I saved the video in the folder, and I'll just show you the folder really quick. Wherever you save it, it might be labeled like Zoom_0 or 1 or however many videos you make. I would go right away and rename it so that way you don't lose it. This is my video lesson for Zoom. Once you know where it is, it's the MP4 file here. You can go ahead and upload that onto YouTube or put it in your Google Classroom or however you want to share that video. I'm sure there's plenty of ways that you can figure out how to share that video with your students. So I hope this is helpful, and good luck Zooming, and stay safe.